So, Rings of Power. I like it, and I'm going to talk about why the criticism it's facing is stupid as hell. First of all, the first time I watched The Lord of the Rings, I was 13 years old. That was in 2013, 2014. That was the first time I got like internet connection and a computer, and I watched it. I pirated it, but don't tell anyone. That was the first time I watched it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Um, I think it was I still think it's one of the best trilogies to ever exist. The Hobbit trilogy. The problem with Hobbit trilogy, like many people have said before, it's that it's a small book from what I know, and it's like three movies adaptation, and it doesn't make sense. It should have been just one movie. I watched it, and I think it was pretty good. I liked those movies, but yeah, it was too long, so obviously I haven't rewatched them. I don't think so. But I liked them despite the somewhat awful CGI stuff in that. I liked it. And The Lord of the Rings, obviously, it's amazing. I've never read any books, the old Tolkien books or the Lord of the Rings books or The Hobbit either. Despite that, I did like the movies. And when the teaser came out for Rings of Power, I was kind of hyped. I saw Galadriel was in the first teaser, and I wanted to see how it was gonna go. The trailers came out, and the characters and the what do you call it? The posters came out, and everyone was just crazy about it. I don't know what happened. People are spamming dislike on all the Rings of Power things on YouTube. I do not understand why. It's a good show. The first, and I'll talk about all of this in details. And I have a big problem with the fucking internet for being a bunch of retards, and I will talk about that in this stream. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like it and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Like, look at this. Fucking 155,000 dislikes. There is no reason for anyone to be so hateful towards this show at all. It's like I don't know. There is no reason. Maybe a lot of it is just trolling. People are just trolling this shit, and I guess fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. People are trolls at the end of the day, and they're just spamming dislike. I've done that with the Justin Bieber thing. Yeah, I also dislike the thing. Okay, so it's like, yeah, fair, whatever. So, like, maybe it's a lot of trolls, maybe it's not, but then there are these channels on YouTube which are just, they're so angry about the show existing. And I have watched like 2 3 videos, maybe a few reviews of some people, and I don't think the hate this show is receiving is justified, like at all. I do not think this show is as bad. And even like since the first episode itself, the first episode and first and second episode came together, and many people like valid criticisms were it was very slow, and the third episode and the fourth episode, all of them are really slow. That's the criticism, and that is fair, I guess. But I like, do you remember the the Lord of the Rings movies? Those are really, really long movies. Like the three movies that are like total 10 hours worth of like screen time. It's it takes place in like 13 months. This show takes place in centuries, right? It's like several centuries. So, but at the same time, fine. If you don't find the hook in the show or whatever, it's a valid criticism. It is a slow show. I like it. I actually have the Lord of the Rings reviews, as I said, that I've made. Don't judge me. I didn't know how to make videos. I don't even remember making these videos. I'm not gonna watch these things. Like, this is how I made videos. It's like this close. Hi, what's up? Please don't watch them. I disagree with myself on every account. I actually hate myself for making those reviews. I basically said first movie really great, second movie also very great, third movie also very great. Second movie is worse than first and third movie no, sorry. Second movie is a lot of build up for the third movie without me realizing and researching the fact that the Lord of the Rings, all three books, is just one big story. And I think it was pretty obvious, but I missed it. I'm a dumb fucking idiot. I don't know. Anyway, people are hating on it, and I, from what I've seen, and we'll get into that. Look into it and watch some videos and read some articles and criticisms. The three big things that come to my mind when I read the criticisms for these shows. It's let's see. The first one, the big one, is definitely racism. That's it. That, like, a big part of it is racist. People kind of being like, oh, how can an elf be black, or how can a dwarf queen be black, or whatever. Like, it's a lot of racist things. If a character is black, and the character is not good, the argument here is, oh, they made the character black, so if we criticize the character, we will be called racist and stuff like that. But no one has criticized the character till now. I have not read a single criticism about the character who are of people of color being bad characters. The whole like these whole bunch of people, they came out and started hating on the show for racist reasons, because the show wasn't even out when the outrage started happening. It was a racist outrage. That's period. There is nothing else to that. So that's a big one, that a lot of people are racist. Again, I'm an Indian. I've never been to the US. I don't even have a fucking passport. I I have seen The Lord of the Rings, the three movies. I have absolutely loved them. The three reviews that you don't watch, those three reviews are from a person who was a bit dumb and didn't know what a movie is and what goes into making a movie. I still don't, but I have a better understanding of myself, at least. So, like, I didn't know much about racism except for the black and white, but it's a lot of intricate details and problems on a systemic level that goes into racism in the United States. So that argument of racist people saying people of color playing characters who are supposedly white, it's wrong and blah 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 blah. I think that's a stupid argument and racist at that. That's, I don't really have anything else to say. It's just, it is racist. You are not criticizing the character, you're criticizing the actors for being black. So now we're talking about actors. The second criticism which I've heard is Galadriel not being as good of an actor. Kate Blanchett, she played Galadriel in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and I absolutely loved her in those movies. And right now, Morphy Clark, she's playing Galadriel. People are saying she is like playing a bad character and she's not a good actress and whatever. I disagree again. And like, a big thing is about the criticism is that we know Galadriel as Kate Blanchett from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and she did an amazing job. And because this is a prequel to The Lord of the Rings, there needs to be a character development arc. So this whole thing is going to be like a character arc for her to get to where she is in The Lord of the Rings, and it makes sense to me. Like, that's how prequels work. That's always how prequels worked. The really great thing about the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, it was Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, the character arc for Anakin Skywalker to become Darth Vader. It's a good arc, and like, I think it's a really well done thing, and I think that is how you do it. So if people don't like Morphy Clark's not adaptation, what would you say? If you don't like Clark's way of portrayal of Galadriel, it's just there's no valid criticism in that, because you are saying that She's not playing Galadriel like Kate Blanchett did. Kate Blanchett's portrayal of Galadriel was 3,000 years after this. So that's just how characters work. That's how they grow. So again, it's a invalid criticism. You don't like the actor for playing the character she's supposed to play, which again, all the actors till now have been great. I really liked it. I really like the character of Nori the Half-Foot. And I'm interested in where every single thing goes in the show, but people are not willing to give it a chance, and fair enough, but at least don't be a fucking hater. Third big criticism is the Tolkien lore. It's not one to one, basically. That's kind of a criticism from a lot of people, which again, I don't know the politics behind it, but Amazon bought the rights to the Tolkien, like certain parts of the Tolkien world, I guess, and they are not allowed to use all of it, but certain parts of it. So they have to make stories depending on how and where they want to go. A big thing is definitely that Lord of the Rings, the three books are the story of the movie as well. Like it's an adaptation of those books, and this is an interpreted adaptation of the old Tolkien like books. And I don't think we can compare those two things like at all. I don't think you should be comparing those two things. So the problem in that is definitely, in my opinion, we don't know where the story of the Rings of Power is going. I mean, obviously, we know that the rings are gonna be made, and like we know the in the prologue of the Fellowship, we understand where the world was, where it came to a halt. The ring was lost, and then they destroyed the ring in the Mountain of Doom. So that story exists. We know the story from the books, and it is adapted directly in a movie. Rings of Power is not like that. It's just a bunch of stories that the writers of the show are bringing in together to create a coherent story that leads to Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure if it will lead to Lord of the Rings. I'm assuming because it's called Rings of Power. Um, but that is what the Rings of Power is. Another one, I guess, is like Amazon is rich, I guess. So they are rich, so they are just taking money and making more money, I guess. I don't know. Like that's how corporates work. If you don't like that, become a socialist. I don't know. I don't know. People are getting paid. I'm hoping people are getting paid for making this movie as good as it is. If they're not, I think they should be, because it's a great show. The music is great, the visuals are amazing, the actors are good, and the story till the fourth episode today, it's it's actually good. I genuinely don't understand the criticism that this show is getting. I think there's just these three big points of either you are a racist who just wants to hate, which is like just go away. Second, the actors aren't as great actor whatever, which again I don't see it. I am not an actor, so I'm not gonna judge. And I think I feel I'm involved in the show, and I feel connected with the characters through the via the actors and everything. So I don't really find the actors that bad. And thirdly, the lore, like I don't know the old Tolkien lore at all. I have not read any of that, so it's intriguing to watch and figure out where all of this is leading to. And that is also another problem because of the MCU thing that is happening currently. It's like people are so used to having movies and TV shows which are like really fast paced and like don't take a lot to breathe, and that is a form of entertainment which I'm not going to deny. It's a good enough way to get entertained in a short amount of time. Just happened. Why? So, to get entertained in a short amount of time. The MCU thing, that's what I was talking about before the internet shut down for some fucking reason. It just keeps happening. Someone help me. Um, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. If you like quick, fast paced, like MCU movies and stuff, you will not like this show, but it does not make the show bad. There's no hook. People have said that so often that there is no hook for this show, which is, am I too basic? Am I a fucking basic bitch? Because it's a I got the hook, right? Like, okay, so there is a evil somewhere hiding in the Middle Earth. Okay, Caleb Brimbor, he is going to be making the rings. Like again, that is intriguing to me. Who is the stranger? I don't know. Is he Gandalf? Is he Morgoth? He is he? Then you are an easily entertained moron. Yes, I am. What you gonna do? Is does that make my experience like stupid and wrong? I like the show. It's a good show. Like I till date I have not seen a single criticism. Yes, it does. Okay, so it's subjective, right? If you don't like it, just don't watch it. You don't have to be a fucking hater for it, right? What's the idea of like hating on a show you like that doesn't fit into what you like from a show? Like just don't watch it. Like as I said, you weren't here. This a lot of it is like trolling. Fair enough. No, we have to push the hate to force better content. Or what do you mean? Okay, define better content. Like genuinely define what a better content is. Like what is a critic and better content will lead to a better society. Okay, what define? Can you actually define what a like criticism without being constructive is stupid? I just talked for previous 30 minutes. You might not have been here about the three main criticisms for this show that I've seen online. First is racism. Secondly, the actors are not that good, which is like just not true. Thirdly, the law isn't one to one. Obviously, it's not gonna be. Like we haven't even seen the show, and the first two episodes weren't even out, and people were already like angry on the show and canceling the show without even trying. Requires a higher level of sophistication than the basic shit you watch. Define basic shit again. That's so vague criticism. It's you can't really. I can't really talk about it. Higher level of sophistication. Define what. Like, give me an example. Don't define anything now. Give me an example. Basic shit is equal to rings of power. Okay, basic shit. Define that. What exactly is basic about this show? Not once have I seen a proper constructive criticism of the show. All the criticism it is getting is invalid, and like there is the only criticism that I can think of is being that don't make this show. That's the most I can think of. Like don't make Rings of Power with no intelligent, simple storyline with no intelligent thought put into it. Do we know the story? I don't know the story. Guess what? Do you? I know the story. So you have read the old books from the Tolkien lore. It's so predictable. Oh, it's just. Tell me, tell me. I'm all ears. Tell me. I'm here. I genuinely want to know. Like, did you say Rings of Power was racist? By the way, no, no, not Rings of Power. People were being racist towards the Rings of Power because there's a black dwarf queen and there's a black elf, and people hadn't even seen the characters, and people are already angry about it. So people were like a part of the criticism it was getting was from racists. That's what I said. Don't worry, I'll make the video. The video will be out on YouTube. You can check it out. I don't really, but if the black characters don't make sense in their genealogy, doesn't it make sense for them to be white? It's nothing to do with race. It's to do with logic and a consistent story. What do you mean? Consistent story. So color of the skin, right? A black elf. It doesn't make sense when they are when we have only seen white elves in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Yes, but a bit deeper than that. I don't think it matters to me, because if you really think about it, a skin color is just skin color. If they are good actors, they should be allowed to play characters without any flaw. That them being white is an inherent characteristic. I don't really care. Again, that's the kind of deep law shit that doesn't need to be applied today. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Who cares? Is the show good? Are those characters and the actors playing those characters doing a good job? And from what I've seen in the first 4 episodes, they are doing great job. This gatekeeping idea of, they have to be perfect and shit, I do not really care about to appreciate it. But it's like, it doesn't matter, right? It's not. Why does skin color matter to you so much? I'm not calling everyone racist, but there is a part of it who are racist. They are just borderline racists. You cannot deny that. I'm not saying all of them are. Just like I somehow people still need to say not all, but a big part of it is racism. And to top that, I will say one thing: the Ariel thing that is happening right now, from Disney, right? The Little Mermaid thing. I've never watched those movies. Okay, I've not watched old Disney cartoon movies, but Ariel being black is stupid. I agree with that part. Okay, I agree with that, because it's like it's unnecessary, and it's forcing a kind of a I don't know, wokeness in people, which like no one needs that, to be very frank, because we have had a Ariel mermaid who was white, a red-headed white mermaid. So changing that to a black, that is fair. I understand. I'm not being inconsistent, because the white elf is not not the white elf. The black elf is not from the lore from the Tolkien, right? You have read it, so you might know. The black elf from what's his name? I forgot the name. He is a new character, from what I remember. So they are not changing the color of already existing character. Ariel is an already existing character that they're changing the color for being woke, by the way. I'm actually okay with that, but Disney being Disney, they are doing it. It is fundamental to the law. I just what lore? I don't know. And honestly, that's the kind of like gatekeeping I actually do not like. It just, is it a good show? That's all I care about. That's all I'm going to care about. Maybe because you care about the law, which is fine, criticize it. But again, you cannot, the criticism that you gave before right here, when you said like it needs better content and require higher level of sophistication than the basic shit you watch, and you're talking about all this lore and everything. You can't say that and then complain about Ariel. Yes, I can, and I am saying that, because those two are two different things. I'm okay with, because there's different layers for the Disney thing that's happening. This is a very different thing. And don't go on tangent. Don't like change the topic now. Your criticism is that this show is basic, saying you shouldn't care and that you do care. Yes, because I care people hating on the show that might get it cancelled, and I don't want that. You care about the wrong things. I mean, you care about things that you don't need to care about. You should care about if the characters are good, if the actors are playing the characters as good as anyone else, or whatever, like something like that. I do care about entertainment, and I for the four. Then why do you care if Ariel is black and not just appreciate the show? I am gonna appreciate the show. That's again, you're misinterpreting me. You're completely misinterpreting. Ariel being black is a Disney's way of being woke. That's the problem. The corporate. That's my problem. And you can say the same thing about Amazon, because I think you're gonna say that same thing, but the characters are different here. Characters are new here. No one has heard of those characters. Maybe people who read the lore do, but Little Mermaid and whatever the Rings of Power characters are, those are two different things. Just being woke with this black guy. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm. If the actors are good, why does it matter? As I said, Ariel being black in the new movie, I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna watch it because I just don't. I have not watched the first movie. I'll need to watch the first movie first and then watch the second movie, because I've heard that Disney and the Mulan thing that happened, when Mulan was about a woman who who fought the cultural dogmas and the cultural oppression and went against the cultural norms. That's what Mulan, the animated one, was. And the remake, the live action remake of the Mulan, was just bad. So Disney's intentions behind them was just to make money. Lord of the Rings, not so much. Rings of Power makes like shows a lot of people who put a lot of care into making the show. There's so many. So now you're okay with Ariel being black. I've always been okay with anyone being anyone. I don't care. It's the corporates. It's don't make the argument so black and white, please. That is a basic thing that people do. There's no layers of intersectionality. There's no layers of different aspects of, I guess, corporate, what do you call it, intervention that goes into it. That's how you think. I'm not thinking like that. But that I can understand is what I said. You are the one making things black and white. I did the opposite right now, where I'm saying Ariel as a black actress is a much more complicated thing, because the corporate is trying to make money out of it, and Rings of Power having black characters in it is a different thing, because the black characters are new characters, and it's not like changing the characters from white to black or anything. And a lot of effort goes into making this story. This is something that has never done before. Ariel is an adaptation. I'm not making it black and white. I'm actually pointing out how black and white it is not. If you want me to give an answer, oh, black people shouldn't play white characters, or white people shouldn't play black characters, that is making black and white. And I'm not doing that. You are the one doing that. You are the one polarizing it. And till now, I have not actually read a proper criticism about it. Even through you, you are not criticizing it for the flaws of the show. You're criticizing it because of, I don't know. You're not criticizing it at all. You just don't like it, which is fair. Don't like it. I'm fine with that. Just don't hate on it. So if you made a movie about World War II and made it was a black, World War II happened in real life. Tolkien lore is a fictional fucking story. Are you seriously comparing those two things? You can't be serious. Okay, I'm assuming you're gonna be joking about it, but those two are very different things. Those two are very different things. It's not a biography. Tolkien, the Rings of Power is not a biography. They are not. They now you are making it black and white by saying, changing a white character into black is the same as changing history. World War II isn't low. It's historically World War II is something that happened. All right. Rings of Power and the books that it is based on is a fictional story written during the time of, I don't know, war and racism, I guess, where all these problems were neglected completely, or they should be treated though they should not be treated the same. They are two very different things. Dude, you're talking about a you're talking about a real historical event versus a book, a fictional book. Those two are not the same. They should not be treated as the same. What are you talking about? And I still haven't heard a valid criticism for Rings of Power. You called it basic show. And to maximize watcher entertainment. Wrong. History and like a fictional lore are two different things. All right? A lore and a story of a fictional book, it can be changed to accommodate different times. History is history. That is something that happened. History. I don't know. I still haven't. I'm not gonna argue that because you are not making any argument over there. For me to counter argue, you need to make an argument. Why is history laws the same as sorry? Why is a fictional law the same as history? You have not proven why both of them should be treated the same. I'm not making an argument because I already beat you. No, you didn't make any argument. That's how you think you beat me, by not making any argument and saying nothing. You have not made a single argument of why this show is bad. And I'm open. Like, I want you to criticize the show properly. You think the show is really slow. Fair enough. You don't like the actors for being bad actors. It's your subjective view. I don't think the actors are as bad. You can't keep up, buddy. You really can't make a fucking argument about this thing. You have, even right now, you're not really criticizing the show even a little bit. Have you even watched the show? Have you even watched the show? Have you? Why would I? Exactly. You haven't even fucking watched the show and you're talking about criticizing something you have not even experienced. What do you... I can't believe you actually think you're winning this argument. You're just being a fucking dumbass. You've not made a single argument, man. Watch the trailer. Thank you. Thank you for judging a fucking show that is said to have like 5 seasons based on a fucking trailer. That's amazing. You did a great job, buddy. You literally judged the book by its cover. Like, that's what you literally did. Fucking dumbass. Most of the films I watch is just the trailer. That's all you need. Exactly. You're like, even if you thought you were making good arguments or anything for some reason, if you thought you were making good arguments, you completely negated every single thing by saying you have not even watched the fucking show. That was the first point. I think that was the first point I made before you watched it. I'm sorry if you can't comprehend that. Yeah, I can't. I cannot comprehend stupidity like that. I can't. What do you expect me to do? Just say, yeah, you can be who. No, you can't. You shouldn't be because you're a fucking dumbass. If you don't like the show, you are like, don't like that show. It's completely fine. But to hate on it without even watching it, like you did, you haven't even watched it and you're like, oh, it's so bad and blah, 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 blah. You haven't even fucking watched it. You haven't even watched it. No, not always. Especially in this case, okay, Rings of Power is actually good and you haven't even watched it and you have already presumed that it's going to be bad, which is my exact point. People aren't even willing to give it a fucking chance. You are living inside your own bubble, buddy. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, you think you know what is happening in the show, you haven't even watched because of your words, assumption. Assumptions aren't always right. Assumptions most of the time aren't always right. If I will say otherwise, just go. If you can't have actual intellectual arguments, just go. Okay, just go. because you still haven't made a single criticism except it's not up to the lore. It's not. Isn't like a lot of people they have all said it. It's not going to be one to one because it's what the old books are like a Bible. Have you read the old books, by the way? Have you read them? Because I doubt you've even read them. I think you've watched a bunch of YouTubers talk about how it's stupid and blah and blah and blah, and you have not made your own. You are a fucking NPC, aren't you? Thank you for the content, by the way. This is going on YouTube. I've read all of them. Good. Good. So you do know the entire story. Yeah, exactly. I haven't, and I'm open about it. I haven't, and the only thing I'm ever gonna watch is the show, and I'm open to experience it and base my judgment based on what I see. You are judging the movies and the TV show based on your readings of the book. It's gonna be different. I promise you, it's not gonna be the same because they have said it out loud that it's not. They don't have the rights to the whole thing. And if really a person having a person being being a person of color playing a character is your biggest problem in a show, that is kind of racist. But you are making your judgments lacking critical info. No, I'm not basing my like making my judgments lacking critical info. I'm saying first watch it. Okay, first watch it. Have a fucking open mind about it. It's just logical conclusion. I don't care. I don't care. I'm enjoying them. I am enjoying. That's what matters to me. It's entertaining to me. That's what fucking matters to me. That's what matters to the most of the audience watching this show. If it is entertaining or not. You are the real gatekeepers right here. You implied I was racist and now it's I don't care. Yeah. What's your point? You are racist to care about the skin color. I don't. What argument are you trying to make? You just said. You just said it's not accurate because the characters were white, but they are portrayed by black people and you don't. You are racist for caring about Ariel. What? All right, we are just going into delusion world, aren't we? Just you don't have any arguments to make. What? I don't care because I have not watched the whole first thing at all. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you not have any arguments to make? I don't know. Yeah, I'm the one deluded. I'm the one deluded. I'm the one going on judging the TV show that is supposedly to take like 5 seasons and judging the entire thing based on a fucking trailer. I am deluded. Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah. Are you taking that back or not? Depends. Do you care about a character, a fictional character being played by an actor who is good at their job despite their color? Tell me. The answer depends on that. It's not like Galadriel is black, you know? I can literally ask you the same thing about Ariel. What? I don't care if Ariel is black or white. That's my answer. That has been my stance the whole time. I don't care. The only thing I care about the corporate making decisions like these woke decisions to make a bunch of money and like not changing anything like at all. Disney has passed, racist things. Like it has. Let's not argue that. And even today, there are a lot of problems in the Disney corporations, especially like trying to, you know, gain audience from different cultures and blah, 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 by being morally wrong. A big example is again Mulan. It's a big example being black characters from Star Wars poster not being shown in the Chinese audience members things. Is that not racist? My problem is with Disney, not Ariel being black and white. Black or white. I you are the one deluded. I'm sorry. I have been clear on every single stances I have made, and you have not had a single stance. I'm waiting. Oh fuck! Sorry. You haven't been clear. You have moved so much. Okay, if you, what have I not been clear about? Please tell me. What have I not been clear about? Your Ariel position. I am okay with Ariel being black. There. I'm actually okay with Ariel being black. Only reason I have hesitation because I have not seen the first movie, the animated movie, and I have not seen a lot of old Disney movies. And because this is a Disney remake, live action remake, Disney is known over and over. Disney is known to be like conservative in a lot of its ideologies. I am okay with Ariel being black. I do not care. I am not okay with Disney being racist in other aspects of their corporations. Like, as I said, Chinese, the thing about black people, black actors being taken out of the posters in the Chinese releases, or taking away the gay kiss or whatever for different countries. I'm not okay with that, because if Disney does that, this is this is a way to kind of gather more audience as being progressive, while Disney is not being progressive at all. My problem is Disney, not a fictional mermaid whose skin color is black. That's my explicit stance. I don't know how much clear I can make it. You still haven't had a proper criticism for it, but I guess you do you. I don't know. Are you done? I think you're done, right? I don't think you have any arguments, because you never had any argument. So yeah, point proven of this video, I guess. Thank you for being here, I guess. Anyway, so there are a lot of criticisms for Rings of Power, as you can see. A lot of backlash and, a lot of shit. See, what a joke, abysmal, everything is wrong, toxic, Rings of Power, comment, I don't know. It's just a lot of hate, which is, let's be honest, a lot of this is racism. A lot of it is criticism, valid criticism. Like Chris Chuckman, I watched his video where he talks about this exact thing, that people aren't giving it a chance,
All top notch, really, really strong stuff. There's nothing yet in these first two episodes that makes me go, oh my God, this is going to be absolute shit. I have read a lot of the complaints.
Yeah.
I have watched multiple reviews
Same.
that people have posted on YouTube,
Yeah.
as well as read many critics' reviews to really get a sense of what people are upset about. And I get it. I think if you're very invested in this world, there are certain things that just aren't going to click with you.
Yeah.
It's going to feel as if it is an imitation of something that you love,
Yeah.
or that it's trying too hard to be something that it isn't. And I understand all those complaints. But when I watched the show, I found myself intrigued enough to the point where I am interested to see where it goes. But there wasn't a particular storyline where I thought, oh, yep, I'm in. I am hooked. So I also understand that. If you want to be hooked from the first or second episode,
Yeah, this point right here. Like what he says is a very much valid way of putting it, right? That none of it was something that completely hooked me, but at the same time, none of it was offensive. And that is quite a neutral stance. And he still got a lot of dislikes, as you can see the bar here. Right? 9,000, around 10,000 dislikes for saying he's neutral on the show. That's what I'm saying. The fans of this show are a bunch of retards. I don't know what else to say. It's a completely invalid thing.
TV show and really feel like watching the rest and just absolutely not want to think about anything else except the storylines that you can't wait to see resolved, you're not going to get that in these first two episodes. Because to me, they were just really beautiful, exceptionally well crafted, and interesting enough.
For me, not so much. I was actually hooked. I wanted to know who the stranger was. Maybe again, as Plushy's back said in the first message, that they said that then you are an easily entertained moron. Yes, I am. What do you fucking want? Majority of us are. Let us just fucking enjoy it. Don't be a fucking hater, you know?
To the point where I do want to know what happens next, but I am not on the edge of my seat yet. Maybe the show will get worse.
And it got better, by the way. Third episode was kind of slow again, and fourth episode just took off, and it was really fun to watch. I really liked the fourth episode.
Maybe the finale will be really bad. Maybe there'll be something that the internet really hates, and because of that, everything that the show tries to do is going to be bad because of one specific thing that the internet hates. I've seen that too. I just don't think that a show that is this well crafted to start is just going to be shit in the end.
Yeah. People are not even willing to give it a chance. As again, Plushy is back said, they haven't even watched the thing, right? They haven't even watched it and they have already assumed it's going to be bad and started criticizing it. These are the NPC mentality, and a lot of people are like that. Don't get me wrong, Amazon is a problematic company as well. Like this, I'm not justifying that. But at the same time, this criticism for the show is not with that as well. You can criticize Amazon. Let's stand up together and criticize Amazon for being a piece of shit company with really bad union. They disagree with the union thing as well, and the workers aren't paid enough, and they are made to work really hard. And we can talk about that. Yes, let's talk about that together instead of canceling the whole company. A lot of people work there. Let's just we can talk about that. But like no one is like, that's the kind of argument they'll take out of their ass. They don't really care, but just want to pile on why it is bad. That's why they'll use it and not actually care about anything. Matt, he's a right winger, so I'm not gonna. You know what? Let's just do it.
All right. This is from
I think he's a conservative man, so let's just get into it.
Daily Wire says Elon
Obviously,
Musk.
okay. So immediately, the real reason why the Rings of Power sucks. So obviously, it's a biased. People hate. But like people hating on the show get a lot of likes and very little dislikes. I'm pretty sure if this video gets like on YouTube, gets attraction of any kind, there's gonna be a lot of bullying, there's gonna be a lot of dislikes, and I'm gonna have fun with that because oh my god, people are so up in arms about something so fictional. What the fuck?
But some reviewers are accusing fans of being racist.
For them, yes. Yeah.
For their 1-star reviews.
Yes.
Of course, we knew that was going to happen. A writer for The Hollywood Reporter likened these reviewers to miserable little trolls who were review bombing the series simply because casting directors chose to add black actors.
Yes.
So this is the narrative now that we're getting from the media.
Narrative. Oh my god, he is a conservative right-winger. Fuck yeah.
And watch this show. I have no interest in watching it. And I'm a
See again. What did you hear that?
So this is the narrative now that we're getting from the media. I haven't watched this show. I have no interest in watching it. And I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings, actually. But it's because I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings that I'm not going to watch Amazon's version of it. And I said this from the very beginning, the first time they announced the series. I was warning everyone, it's going to be a disappointment. It is going to disappoint you.
See, immediately. You haven't even watched it. How can people not call you racist? You haven't watched, you don't have a valid criticism for it at all. You haven't watched it to analyze it for being bad.
because Hollywood in the year 2022 does not have the ability. I mean, it would be, in any era, it would be very difficult to make a Lord of the Rings series, which, yes, maybe it's based on some of Tolkien's work, but you're basically telling your own story, and now we're going to stack it up against one of the classic fantasy novels of all time, fantasy series of all time.
Yeah.
So in any era of Hollywood, that's a lot to ask. I mean, you're almost doomed to fail already.
Nope.
But especially in this era, it's impossible that the series can be good. They don't have the capacity to tell these kinds of stories anymore. And when I say capacity, I don't mean from a financial perspective. They got all the money in the world. They spent $1 billion on this series. Which, by the way, you don't hear a lot of complaints from the left about that. You know, they say about like Elon Musk, when he made an offer for Twitter, they said, well, why don't you could have taken that money and solved world hunger.
Oh God.
Amazon spent $1 billion on a TV show.
Yeah.
How much of world hunger could they have solved with that?
Yeah. That's great.
But they've got the
Without actually giving a solution for it anyway. Like, you didn't talk about Elon Musk should give money to solve world hunger. You actually opposed that idea and thought that it's not his job. It's not the rich people's job to do that. But now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you also don't do it. Like, what about Oh my God, bunch of retards.
money, but they don't have. There's not the spiritual capacity to tell stories like this anymore in Hollywood. But the narrative is that the people don't like the show because there are some black actors in it.
Yes. If you have not watched the show, if you have not even watched the show, and you hate the show because there are black characters in the show, you are a racist.
And of course, because, you know, the people that are watching Lord of the Rings, it's the first time they've seen a black actor in the show, and they're all racist, and so that's why they have a problem with it. Then you go and you read the audience reviews, and what you see, not surprisingly, is that almost all of them don't like the show because they think it's boring, they don't like how it's written, and all of those things.
Yeah. Again, there's a big fucking difference between that, okay? There's a big fucking difference between an audience member watching the show and not liking it and giving it 1 star. Do you really think that can happen? Like a normal, sane fan, non-fan, whatever, watches the show, watches the first episode, and are you saying there is nothing beautiful for it? It's not even 5 or 6 worthy. Like a 6 star out of 10. Not stars, I guess, 6 out of 10. Just for the fucking visuals, just for the music, just for the actors. Yeah, it didn't hook you. Does that make the show immediately 1 star? No. If you give it a 1 star, a rating of 1 out of 10 after watching the first show for not hooking you, that you are a racist. Come on. Let's just not, giving a low rating is different versus review bombing is a different thing. It's just, just stop pretending. Can we all just do that? Can you stop pretending you're not racist?
See one person complain about the fact that there's a black actor. Now, with that said, audiences at this point have a very low tolerance for anything that even smells woke. Like the minute there's a hint of wokeness, and of course, just having a black actor doesn't mean that you're trying to do something woke. But the minute there's a hint of it, like if there's a hint.
Okay, so what is the woke thing, if not the black actor?
That they put a character in the show just for not because it advances the story, but just for diversity concerns.
Huh.
The minute there's even a hint of that, audiences are repelled, and for good reason, because we're sick.
Yeah, what?
Concerns.
Good reasons?
The minute there's even a hint of that, audiences are repelled, and for good reason, because we're sick. So I don't think that's the primary complaint.
Okay.
Well, before you go,
What is the primary complaint though? If there is a, wait, shut the fuck up, wait. If there is just a hint of being woke by adding a person of color as an actor, as a character in the thing, people are tired of it. You haven't even seen the character. You haven't even seen the actor playing that character. You haven't seen the character being good or bad. And the reason I did not make a video after the first episode is because I was waiting for it. I was waiting how bad could it be? And watching it, it's not bad at all. The 4th episode was so good. I think it was worth it. I really liked the show. I really liked the 4 episodes that I saw. And I don't understand, aside from, the racist thing, fine, fuck it, move, just go away. I do not understand a person hating this show and not being racist. And I am open to hear what those thoughts are. What exactly did you hate about the show? Like, what exactly made you go, I hate this show, and review bomb it give it 1 star and whatever. Like what? How bad? Like there's not been a valid criticism about it for it being like a 1 star or a low rating show. Till now, I have not seen a single criticism about that. If it's boring, is it visually boring as well? Because if it's visually the way it is, it's really good. It deserves at least 2 or 3 points just for the visual aspects of it. Are you seriously saying it's so bored that the visuals itself are like not worth it? Because in that case, you're just straight up lying. Nerds of the okay. So also by the way, this Nerds of Power, Nerd of Rings. I just subscribed to them. Just today actually, I saw the breakdowns of episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and I think this is a great channel. I think it's a perfect balance of person who likes the lore of Tolkien and at the same time is willing to give this show a chance. And I really like this channel. Subscribe to them, whatever. It's really good. It's really good. $1 billion disaster. Oh my god, who the fuck is this guy? Oh my lord. Okay, they are those. Okay, look at this. They are these kind of people, I guess, just making fun. Wait. I have actually made a video on that exact thing. Let me just see if I can find it. I've made a video about this media manipulation of the masses, how the media psychologically manipulates. I've talked about this. You can watch the video. So it's about national media technically, but we can talk about it in the context of social media as well. A bit of this is this right here. Make it funny along these lines. Photos that show the bad side of a person and everyone has them are used to portray enemies as stupid and or psychotic fools. You can see this approach when publications deliberately uses a photo of a person looking cross-eyed or bizarre. Do you see that? Do you see this? Coincidental? Absolutely not. Oh man. So you can obviously see the bias here. They are not even willing to give it a chance. And I absolutely hate these people because they really don't have anything else to do, anything good to do with their lives. Should I watch it?
On YouTube. So let's take a look at a fiery ball flying over diversity. Rose, a Harfoot, which we can't confuse with Hobbit, which I'm sure has nothing to do with rights issues. This is the first thing Amazon decides to show us once again, an original character who was not mentioned ever in Tolkien's writings, who, according to Lenny Henry himself, is there to take up space.
Okay. Where's the criticism exactly? Is the only criticism that they added a character who is black? Is that the only criticism? If they change the character, like a white character into black, they'd be angry. Plus, are there different characters? I don't know. Are there different new characters who are not black? I don't know. There's no valid criticism, as I said.
Some recycled footage of High King Gil-galad, the one character who should be all over this series, but will probably be relegated to the background. And he's also the one character who actually looks like an elf. Oh, wow, this looks bad. Amazon acquired the right.
What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean this looks bad? What the fuck? What do you mean this looks bad? This looks amazing.
He's also the one character who actually looks like an elf.
Look at that. That looks amazing. What? What?
Bad green screen and generic video game trailer music. Before we go on, I'm going to tell you what my biggest issue with the show is right now. It's with Galadriel. I have no problem with this show centering around her. I expected that, but I also expected it to be Tolkien's Galadriel, not some modernized, idealized, current year Amazon version of Warrior Galadriel, which is essentially a dude.
Okay, what? Wait, what?
And here we have Prince Durin IV, which looks like a dwarf, and Nick Rekieta, who is married to Disa, another original character who doesn't show up anywhere in Tolkien's work.
Yeah. Again, the only problem is they added characters who are black. If they change the characters from white to black, that'd be a problem. If they don't add black characters at all, they'd be like, yeah, good job, because there's no black people. What the fuck?
Let's take a good look at this image. After almost 5 years and $1 billion.
That is, I think, Mordor. I'm not sure.
They still can't make it look as good as Peter Jackson's films.
What do you mean it doesn't? It looks amazing. What?
Oh, no, you didn't. Ah, we have a new character, which is indeed from Tolkien's Legendarium, except there's a bit of a problem. This is Tar Miriel, who is the Queen Regent of Numenor. We were told they were going to play it fast and loose with the canon, so for the normies, I will keep this as simple as possible. This show precedes the Forging of the Rings of Power, which starts in the year 1500 of the Third Age, an age that lasts roughly 3,400 years. Tar Miriel, the Queen Regent of Numenor in this show anyway, wouldn't be born for roughly another 1,600 years, but they're playing it fast and loose.
Yeah, okay, they're making fast.
With the canon. In this one, she ends up teaming up with warrior Galadriel, who never went to Numenor in the books, to go hunt some orcs.
Yeah, they changed the law. Big fucking deal.
Oh, look, ants. Maybe we'll find out what happened to the female ants. Oh, there I go again, obsessing about gender norms. And we end on another original character, female Frodo, Nori Brandyfoot. By the way, the flaming thing that went by.
Oh my god, they made a Hobbit female. Oh my god, that's so woke. The fuck? Why the fuck does it matter to you, man? So, god, so cringe.
The fans who just want a good story, or is it the activists who can't tell one? Let's keep in mind, nowadays, good customer service, good storytelling, wanting somebody to respect the lore are all tools of the alt-right.
So they added new characters, and that is not the original lore that they wanted. But I guess this one statement that I heard in this video, I think they're just angry that they don't have the show that is just one-to-one adaptation of the old books. That's, I guess, the third criticism that I had about the lore, which I don't really care about the lore because I've never really read the books, nor do I want to. I just want to watch the thing and enjoy it for what it is. And I have been. I don't know what to say. Am I supposed to care for the thing? You know, like, am I supposed to care about the original Tolkien works to care about this thing? Or can I just say J.R.R. Tolkien was amazing for writing the books that he wrote, of which this is based on, and say whatever he wrote in those books is probably better than the show, but the show isn't as bad either. Seeing a lot of criticism that I've seen, the hate that this show is receiving, I mean hate, that people aren't even willing to give it a chance. That is invalid and stupid, and people who review bomb it like 1 star because it's woke or whatever, it's just, I think it's kind of wrong. At the end of the day, I think people should be more open to experiencing something. And again, as a person who was born in 2000, okay, I was born a year before Lord of the Rings came out. The first time I ever watched Lord of the Rings, I was 13 years old, which is not that long ago. It's like it was in 2013. It hasn't even been a decade since I watched Lord of the Rings for the first time in my life. And I watched it and I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved it. And my review on the channel, it's stupid. Don't go and watch that. I made that video in 2020, and that was when I had a streak of Marvel expectations to just have quick movies and just have a movie end really quickly and stuff like that. It was stupid for me to say the second movie isn't as good as the other two because it is a setup for the third movie. It's really dumb, and I disagree with myself. Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, is amazing, and like, we know the end of the Lord of the Rings. As someone, like, this is my perspective. Lord of the Rings ends with, you know, the ring being thrown in the Mount Doom, like the Smeagol falls down with the ring. And there are like 3-4 endings after that. And we know the ending. But like, if you think about it, Lord of the Rings, the ring being destroyed, we don't really get to see a lot of Lords of the Rings. You know, we just see the one ring and it being destroyed. And that's the story of the thing. Of the 10 hours, it's just that story. I don't think we still feel that it's worthless because we know where it is going, because Lord of the Rings is something that is about the journey, about the characters being developed and becoming, you know, amazing at the end of the movie. This show gives us an opportunity to see the lords who get the rings, I guess, the rings of power being made. Rings of power isn't nearly as bad as people are saying. Like, I'm not saying it's better than Lord of the Rings, but I'm not saying it's worse either. I'm not going to judge it. I think it feels like the same universe as well, and it just I like it. I like it. It's not as bad. It's really slow. That's a like a criticism for everyone, and it's fine. Like that is a fair criticism. But do you think it's slow? It's so slow that you need to give it 1 star? Not really. It is slow. It's not hooking you up, hooking you in as much, which is again fine. But it's not 1 star worthy. Like I'm sorry if you think those are valid criticisms for it to be like the worst show ever created and bombed and shit like that. No, that's not true at all.